For the first time, men and women have collectively agreed that Angel Reese was tripping when she got fouled by Caitlin Clark, even though Angel Reese caused the first foul. You see, after Angel Reese fouled Shawty trying to get the ball, but Shawty ain't getting mad, the minute Caitlin Clark reached for that ball, she want to flop to the floor and try to throw hands. Like, what you trying to throw hands?
Angel Reese pushed Natasha Howard before later becoming the center of controversy when Caitlin Clark committed a tactical foul against her. This incident has exposed a glaring double standard in how fouls are perceived depending on the players involved. While Clark's foul was immediately scrutinized and overanalyzed by commentators, Reese's equally aggressive, if not more severe, push against Howard went largely unnoticed.
Then when you look up close and personal, you see it was a basic foul. They gave her a flagrant foul for this. How? That baby, he had foul, bruh. You about to throw hands and crash out about that foul? Not to mention, she hit the ball. You decided to go flop over, trying to pull a LeBron James. No disrespect to the GOAT, but I'm happy that majority of men and women collectively agree on the internet that Angel just got a problem with Shawty for no reason at this point, bro.
This wasn't just a casual bump. It was a full-on demolition derby move disguised as basketball positioning. Angel was out there treating the court like it was the WWE Royal Rumble, and Howard was the unfortunate contestant getting tossed over the top rope. Let's be crystal clear, this wasn't incidental contact that happens when two athletes happen to occupy the same space. No, this was calculated, deliberate, and about as subtle as a fireworks display in a library.
Rebecca Allen goes up for a shot. I believe that's Rebecca Allen. Angel Reese pushes Natasha Howard in her back. Angel Reese shoves Natasha Howard in her back. That's how Angel Reese gets her rebounds. I'm not sure if you guys paid attention to last year. Not all her rebounds. I got to give credit. She hustles. She does. She's got the motor. But Angel Reese is famous for the nice little, out my way, girl. Let me grab that rebound. It's a foul every time, but she's famous for it. Caitlin Clark sees this push, points at the referee. Hey!
Angel Reese saw Howard as an obstacle between her and what she wanted, so she did what any totally reasonable professional would do. She bulldozed through her like a toddler lunging for the last cookie. As for the refs, they were apparently watching a completely different game, perhaps a thrilling match of invisible checkers in the third row, because they somehow missed a push so blatant it could have shown up on meteorological radar. But, hey, why call a foul when you can just pretend it never happened? That's the Angel Reese special. Commit the crime, skip the time, and then act absolutely stunned when someone so much as breathes in your direction afterward.
Caitlin did take a take foul, did try to prevent the easy basket. That is indeed the case. Though in the midst of that, of course, I think there was a little extra spice put on it because Reese had shoved Natasha Howard right before that, and Caitlin saw it. It was right in front of her face. Reese shoved Howard in the battle for the rebound. And then Reese was definitely heated. I mean, there's no question about that.
Then comes Caitlin Clark, basketball's blonde bombshell of buckets, committing what might be the most overanalyzed tactical foul in WNBA history. Was it a foul? Absolutely. Was it flagrant? Please. It was so textbook. It could teach a master. Class in Basketball 101, How to Stop a Fast Break. There was nothing malicious about it. This was pure mathematics. Basketball calculus at its finest. 2 potential points scored versus 1 smart foul. Clark crunched the numbers faster than a Vegas oddsmaker on Red Bull, but you wouldn't know it was just a standard strategic play from the reaction. Angel. Reese hit the floor like she'd been struck by a wrecking ball, spinning more dramatically than a washing machine on the heavy-duty cycle. Someone get this woman an Oscar nomination. The performance was more captivating than half the films nominated last year.
Flagrant one? I don't think so. I think it was just a hard foul. And I think Angel Reese overreacted. And to me, Angel Reese gotta stop this role. Like, you're not a villain, you're not that. Honestly, she to me is like that bully that will always give you a hard time until you punch him in the nose. That's Angel Reese. That's Angel Reese, bro. She needs to worry about learning how to win too, because I really believe the real reason why she got mad for two reasons. The person who fouled her is Caitlin Clark, and she got a lot of resentment for her. And also, she's embarrassed. Her team is getting annihilated by the Fever. The Fever straight dogged them, destroyed them, and she's mad that she's losing, and she felt embarrassed.
If you are enjoying, please subscribe.
If you're enjoying this, please subscribe. When Angel Reese shoved Natasha Howard, it wasn't just a physical push. It was a clear test of how much she could get away with. The officials were so lenient, they might as well have handed her a get-out-of-foul-free card, complete with a complimentary shoulder massage. Meanwhile, Howard just kept playing, wearing the expression of someone who's been cut off in traffic, but has somewhere important to be. So she let it go. The game carried on like nothing happened. No whistle, no review, no dramatic close-up of Angel's face for the inevitable social media explosion. Just basketball. That is, if basketball now includes selectively enforcing the rule book based on jersey numbers. You have to admire the unique physics of women's basketball when Angel Reese is involved. When she pushes, it's chalked up to good old-fashioned competitive spirit. Nothing to see here, folks. Newton's laws apparently go on a coffee break. An object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an Angel Reese, in which case, we all pretend physics doesn't apply. But when someone dares make contact with the beloved Bayou Barbie, suddenly we're witnessing a force of nature so intense it needs its own scale, the RTOR scale. The officials suddenly develop hawk-like vision, replay monitors get more airtime than Netflix on a rainy weekend, and analysts break out the telestrators, like they're decoding the moon landing. It's fascinating. Angel can hand out physicality like Halloween candy, but when she gets even a taste of her own medicine, it's as if she's caught a case of the vapors. If inconsistency were an Olympic sport, she'd be wearing gold.
Okay. Fever fans, way to boo. Warms my heart. As a Yankee fan, as an Eagles fan, it warms my heart listening to you guys rain down some boos. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Clark stood there watching the theatrical display with the confused look of someone who'd ordered a small coffee and was handed the keys to a yacht. She knew exactly what she'd done, a strategic, professional, by-the-book intentional foul, and was now witnessing it being transformed into the basketball equivalent of a true crime documentary. Clark's tactical foul was like a parking ticket in basketball, a minor inconvenience acknowledging a small rule had been broken. But Reese treated it as if she'd been served divorce papers on her birthday. Not since the dawn of cinema has anyone milked a moment with such commitment. Clark's foul was Basketball 101, a calculated decision made in a split second that any coach would approve. When a player is breaking away for an easy layup, you stop them. That's not dirty. That's smart basketball. Michael Jordan did it, Kobe Bryant did it, LeBron James does it. Every basketball legend with an IQ higher than room temperature has committed tactical fouls. It's part of the game's fabric, like squeaky sneakers and overpriced arena nachos. Clark didn't clothesline Reese or tackle her like a linebacker. She impeded her progress with the minimal contact necessary to stop the play. That's it. That's the crime. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's earlier shove had all the subtlety of a rhinoceros in a china shop. It wasn't strategic or calculated. It was simply removing an obstacle with physical force because finesse wasn't available in her toolbox at that moment. The fascinating part isn't even the two fouls. It's the response. Clark accepted her foul with the quiet confidence of someone who understood the game they were playing. Reese responded to Clark's foul as if auditioning for a medical drama where the character description read, "Player who has been gravely wounded by a feather."
And when you look up close and personal, you see it was a basic foul. They gave her a flagrant foul for this. How? That baby had foul, bro. You about to throw hands and crash out about that foul? Not to mention, she hit the ball. You decided to go flop over, trying to pull a LeBron James. No disrespect to the GOAT, but I'm happy that majority of men and women collectively agree on the internet that Angel just got a problem with Shotty for no reason at this point, bro. Like, now it's just a.
And then came the social media storm. A Category 5 hurricane of hot takes, freeze-frame analyses, and more amateur officiating than a Pee-wee basketball tournament full of helicopter parents. Angels supporters descended like locusts on a wheat field, clutching their pearls and typing with such fury you could practically hear keyboards cracking across America. How dare Caitlyn commit a tactical foul that happens 50 times a game? They cried, completely forgetting, or conveniently ignoring, that their queen had just used Natasha Howard as a human push broom minutes earlier. The double standard was so thick you could spread it on toast. Angel can throw elbows like she's directing traffic in Manhattan, but heaven forbid someone stop her fast break with minimal contact. Suddenly, the basketball world was divided faster than families at Thanksgiving dinner when politics comes up. Team Angel insisted Clark was out for blood, while Team Caitlyn pointed to the replay of Reese's shove, which somehow became basketball's version of the Zapruder film, analyzed frame by frame, yet somehow invisible to those who didn't want to see.
Caitlin Clark with a standard take foul to send Angel Reese to the line instead of giving her an easy layup, but Angel Reese just goes berserk, fires off, drama ensues, opening night drama. Of course, the Fever went on to win by like 40. Caitlin Clark had a triple-double, and Angel Reese.
The sports media didn't help matters. They latched onto the Clark foul like it was the last lifeboat on the Titanic, giving it more airtime than breaking news. Is this the new rivalry the WNBA needs? They wondered aloud, pretending this was Magic versus Bird reincarnated, when really it was just one player making a basketball move and another overreacting to it. Slow-motion replays of the Clark foul ran on loop like a bad TikTok trend, while Angel's shove against Howard got about as much coverage as a tree falling in an empty forest. Even the commentators seemed to develop selective amnesia. "Oh my, what a hard foul by Clark," they gasped, apparently suffering from short-term memory loss about the shoving match Angel had initiated earlier. The narrative was being written in real time, and apparently only one chapter mattered. It was like watching a movie where they only show you the last 10 minutes and expect you to understand the plot. Context? Who needs it? Nuance? Never heard of her. Just give us the drama and let us run with it, like we're carrying the Olympic torch.
The reality is, for the next 10 to 12 years, we're going to get unnecessary discourse between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese over the dumbest things ever. Y'all making narratives over a take foul? Really? We all know this is going to be a forced rivalry for years to come, but don't start painting narratives about one hating the other. It's pure competition. And to her credit, Clark has a point. That was a routine take foul that everybody in basketball has seen.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, plays the victim card with the finesse and dedication of Angel Reese. After receiving just a fraction of what she dishes out, this is performance art at its finest. She transitioned from bulldozer to delicate flower, faster than a Formula One pit stop. The audacity to push another player with force and then act mortally wounded when receiving a standard basketball foul is next-level cognitive dissonance. It's like watching someone throw a water balloon and then scream bloody murder when they get sprinkled with morning dew. What's truly remarkable is the commitment to the bit. Angel didn't just sell the contact. She franchised it with plans to expand globally. She turned a routine basketball foul into her personal martyrdom, complete with dramatic pauses and pain faces that would make soap opera actors say, "That's a bit much." Meanwhile, Natasha Howard, who actually felt Angel's genuine shove, just got up and played basketball like the professional she is, without turning it into an audition for America's Next Top Drama Queen.
An issue with Angel Reese's reaction to Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul.
Yes, and I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago Sky, everybody involved. I have a problem with it being called a flagrant foul. It's a take foul. It's an understandable. First of all, like, can we give the whole picture? The only reason Angel gets the ball is because she shoves Aaliyah Boston in the back. And Caitlin sees that, and she's like, you know what? You're not getting a bucket off of that. I'm going to put you on the free.
This incident perfectly captures the fundamental difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Clark plays basketball, Reese plays games. When Clark commits a foul, it's strategic, purposeful, and part of the flow of basketball as it's been played for decades. When Reese pushes someone, it's impulsive, unnecessary, and then mysteriously invisible, especially when the narrative needs to cast her as the victim. Clark accepts the consequences of her actions with the matter-of-fact attitude of someone who understands the rules and plays within their framework. Reese oscillates between enforcer and victim with such speed it could cause whiplash. The Clark effect isn't just about selling tickets and bringing eyeballs to the sport, though she does that better than anyone else in the league. It's about approaching the game with integrity and intelligence. It's about understanding that basketball is physical without needing to manufacture drama around every contact. The true stars of this sport don't need to create storylines beyond their play. Their game speaks volumes. Clark lets her play, do the talking, which is why arenas sell out. Reese tries to create drama beyond her abilities. That's why people change the channel.
WNBA? Y'all seen Caitlin Clark, the face of the league? She owns Angel Reese, and it's not even close. Yeah, y'all seen Caitlin Clark, aka CC, put on them weight gains. Y'all see them muscle, them guns? Yeah, I need some tickets to that gun show. Real talk. Angel Reese flopping, flipping and flopping like Flipper. Man, play ball. That's the reason why you got blue eye. I'll tell you the reason why she got blue eye. She too busy worried about a podcast and wearing Daisy Dukes, looking like a thotty. Know what I'm saying? Flirting with all these dudes and going to Caicos, Cancun, Turkey, wherever, Dubai, instead of getting in the gym working on her shot, because she can't make her layup to...
What gets lost in all this theatrical fog is actual basketball analysis. Clark's foul was textbook. If you're beaten on a fast break and can safely stop play without endangering the opponent, you do it. Every coach teaches this. Every player with a high basketball IQ does this. Reese's push, however, served no strategic purpose. It wasn't to gain position or create an advantage within the flow of the game. It was simply frustration expressed physically, the basketball equivalent of a toddler pushing another kid because they want the toy first. One action demonstrates basketball intelligence. The other reveals a lack of emotional control. Yet somehow, in the upside-down world of selective outrage, Clark becomes the villain while Reese's transgressions vanish into thin air. It's gaslighting with a crossover dribble, making fans question what they clearly saw with their own eyes. The contrast between these two incidents, Angel Reese pushing Natasha Howard versus Caitlin Clark's tactical foul, reveals much more than just a double standard in officiating or media coverage. It illuminates the difference between players who understand the spirit of competition and those who manipulate it. Basketball has always been physical. It has always involved strategic fouls. What it hasn't always involved are melodramatic performances designed to manipulate narratives and create false equivalencies.
And Aaliyah, can you kind of go through the little issue there, what happened when you got the flagrant, Aaliyah, you got a technical. What kind of happened there?
AB got the tech?
I know. Wait, what?
I got the tech?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
well, first of
no!
all,
Yeah.
Here's the unvarnished truth. Angel Reese pushed a player unnecessarily and escaped without consequence. Caitlin Clark committed a tactical foul, accepted the whistle, and moved on like a professional. One player tried to game the system. The other played within it. One created drama, the other created opportunities. And this, perhaps more than anything else, explains why one player sells out arenas while the other sells narratives. The basketball court doesn't lie, even when some players try to bend its truth. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just about attendance figures and jersey sales. It's about approaching the game with respect, intelligence, and authentic passion. No amount of social media posturing or dramatic falls can manufacture what Clark brings naturally to the court. So, the next time Angel Reese wants to play victim, after a tactical foul, perhaps she should remember her own pushing privileges. Basketball fans have memories longer than her highlight reels, and the cameras, unlike some officials, catch everything.